Sesisoft just dropped a bunch of news, including something really curious that we talk about in the end of this video, and the document getting an update really soon. Watch out for a video that should drop on Friday or Saturday. I'm Katsuma Gaming, let's get right into this. First up, let's take a quick look in the Discord to actually see what the news are that they post about. First up, we get in the maintenance with the end of the current event, so keep in mind the event ends really soon. If you don't have Fast Union, I still highly recommend getting her, but also wait for the end of the video again, because there is some big news. Besides that, there have some odd information that I want to talk about. First up, we get new main quest and new stage difficulties, which is also nice. This means more options to get crystals and stuff like that, and more shards. Added new content arena mission, I'm talking about in a second. Added a new branch event, what's inside Vanir's Pitta Pet box. Really pretty good translation. Give props to them there. And changed the application icon. So far not something that huge there, but first let's take a quick look into the game to see what this Vanir event even looks. So this is the JP version, the event is already there. This is it, and it's actually pretty simple. And so first with like a little bit of dialogue where just Vanir talks with Kazuma and he gives him an offer to do some stuff. And let me just skip here ahead of that. And as you can see here in a second, I get to choose between two options. Blue one and a red one. I don't have translations for the text there. The moment we actually know the text and I have the data for that, I can give you a few more information on what option you should always choose. But there are a total of 4 different options and you get 2 randomly. So in that case, I have these 2. By the way, the color doesn't matter. It's just a text here, but yeah, there are in theory 2 colors. So for example, let me just select the bottom one. There's more dialogue there, and at the end, I can see what I got here. For example, with this dialogue option, we get... Let's find out. We got Ares. So, nothing too crazy, right? But here comes the really interesting part about this event, and that is... Let me find the proper image. There it is. This one. So, as I said before, there are 4 dialogue options, and there are the common and the rare drops. As you could see, I chose the second option here, which in my case was the common drop, which gave me the Ares coins. But if I would have got lucky there, I could have gotten a Nyamblet or cat ear tablet, however it's called. As you can see, there's also an option to get cabbage or fried frogs, skip tickets, and Jarix, which is probably the worst option to be honest. Then we have the top option here, which can give you either XP potions and trial coins or a skill potion. But I need to warn you here. So I don't have the exact number, like the odds to get the rare drop, but from my experience of having this for over 1.5 years is that the rare drops are not balanced equally for each option. So for example, rainbow calories, I got them a bunch. Fried chicken, I got them a bunch. Nyamblet, I get them once in a while if I select them. But most of the time, of course, I'm selecting the first option because I want to have a chance to get the skill potion. And so far, I only gotten it 2 times. Either I'm just really unlucky, or towards the top, the chances are just like a lot worse. So the moment we actually know the translated text, I will of course update this image, post it in my Discord and in the YouTube, not comments, but the community section there. So keep an eye out for that, and then you can easily know which option you should choose. So stay tuned for that. Okay, then next thing I want to show real quick is the so-called arena bonus missions, or whatever it is. And for that, we also take a quick look in the arena tab here, and we'll see one difference here between global and GP version. This is the button here to right. There you can see, oh cool, I got some high score, it shows me there. It's kind of like a history. I wasn't here for a while. That shows you what is your current high score per element. There's also kind of cool some quick Q&A kind of stuff, like explanation of different stuff, like what is CDR, what is elemental buff, god shop, team passive trait, why you should have speed boost, damage block, how elemental works, stuff like that, the new earrings, resh red. So there is some really good information here, especially for newcomers who don't know that stuff. But the real cool part is, first, it tracks your high score per each. So for example, if I go here, you can see, oh, last fire arena I used, or like the fire arena where I got the current highest score that I have is this team with versus this boss, this arena, stuff like that. And yeah, But the cool parts, which I sadly can't show you here because I don't have it unlocked or already completed it, let's say that way, is you get rewards based on your highest score. It goes up to a total of a score for 10 million. And so this is not total score of the arena. This is the highest score in one run per element. And to be honest, most of the lower tier parts are kind of whatever. I can see if I can find an image and edit it later. But they were like maybe a skill potion, some 5-pull tickets, some auto materials, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but like nothing too crazy. The bigger ones are probably the second and third highest one, which are elemental crystals for weapons and elemental crystals for earrings, but you need 9 million damage for that. So that's kind of high, especially for a current standard, but stuff will change in the future. We will get more powerful units, we get other tools like Fame Quest to increase your power by a lot, and by that point you all should hopefully be able to clear this out. Okay, I actually found a list of all the rewards written down here, so as you can see, with a score of one run of 250,000, you get 300 arena coins and 50 skips tickets, free stamina beef, 5-pull ticket, 10 rainbow charics, 5-pull ticket, 100 arena coins, special banners, so these are the character profile banners, 50 skip tickets, free stamina beef, 300 arena coins, another special banner, 3 Nyamblets, a 5-pull ticket, 1 4-star skill pot, another special banner, another 5-pull ticket, 3 weapon crafting crystals, so based on the elements. So for example, in Fire Arena you get fire crystals, another special banner, another 3 crystals, but this time for the earrings of the respective element, and last but not least, for 10 million score you get another special banner. Last thing that we're going to need to do is to check out the update notes, because there are some other information that I want to share with you here. First up, they explain the new content again, arena mission and the vanir pet box. That's also something I showed off. Then of course the next event will be Elite Bounty Hunt Fortress Golem with Welfare Mel, together with of course Theater, Cecily and Vanir. We also get Ani panel missions part 3, which gives some Ani cake, some more Ani coins, which is kind of confusing, but I guess let's wait up. I mean, maybe they're probably doing that because I think Lolisa was kind of part of the second Ani, and since we got Lolisa early, they just moved it to this event now, so I'm not really sure if we get more items in there, but still good for people who are missing some coins to get all the stuff they want. The next one will be Giant Bat Attack, Reasons to Lie, with a Welfare Iris, with a really cute outfit, not gonna lie, and Butler Dust and Mel as pullable units. By the way, for these 2 banners I already made a video called August something, where I talk about the August banners and giving you my opinions and if you should pull or not. So check that out if you need some more information on those. And then we also get another event, which is the first time that we actually see that, which is deduction of these legendary adventurers with a free welfare Megumi Little Sis. I wonder what that could mean, boys. I wonder what that could mean. We will see that in a second if we scroll down a little bit more, because new animation celebration. So it is kind of weird because on that time around, on the JP timeline, we got the announcement that the spin-off and season 3 is coming. And well, they didn't do anything global back then, so now we got to the point where they actually got to that. So there'll be some panel missions for both the spin-off and the 3rd season where you can get few stuff, nothing too crazy. The best part is, I guess, a banner or so, I don't know. Like, this is nothing amazing, it's just weird seeing them this kind of late, if you know what I mean. Anyway, again, here are the banners, with some special banners in there, of course. Cool thing is, we also get a re-release of special characters that includes, for example, some swimsuit units, Christmas units, so like some other limited units. That is pretty cool to get if you miss those. But wait a second before you hype this 2 up, because the last part of this will be really interesting, and you might want to save your quartz for that. Also part 2 with some other limited chocolates, so Valentine, New Year is in there, Pumpkin, so Halloween. Yeah, that's just like splitting the events into 2 banners. But you know what, it's still probably a good banner to pull, since it's probably also like a paid banner or something like that. Or at least there will be some kind of paid banner to go along with it. Second, I will say, Legendary Adventurer Festival All-Star Recruit. this contains some special characters and festival characters. 4-star characters will recruit a 1.5 rate, so another chance to get some legendary units, but interesting. Probably links up with... Oh, no, this is before. Okay, interesting. So, this is as dumb as it sounds. This is kind of cash grab, not gonna lie. I don't recommend pulling on them. Same with the elemental banners. They are like good in theory if you are a whale and you miss some units, but in the same time, as a whale, you probably already have them, so yeah. By the way, this image is wrong. This image is completely wrong, because there should be a mate Mel, not Cecily. Did I freak up the top image as well? No, there's already Cecily. So yeah, this is a error on their end, which is kind of cool. Not all elemental recruits, and then the big one. Legendary, Adventure Festival, Arue, and Cecily. Before you rage about, oh my god, not a first banner only a month after 2nd anniversary, let's scroll through that and then let me give you a little bit of explanation on what is happening, what this also means for collaboration, and what these units are going to do, because I so far don't have talked about them that much. New animation, 1 4-star free pull. That's pretty cool. Iris birthday stuff, legendary adventure stuff, again, because, you know, it's a new fast banner, so of course there's some legendary stuff. Some packs you can buy, new animation pack that you can buy, kind of wild. And we also get some more free stuff, which is kind of cool. Here are also some more information that you can pause and read, or check the Discord there if you want to see that. So, the new event will have an emergency quest where we can get some bonus stuff like cat reliefs, sharks, empty treasure chests, which is kind of weird. This is vanir bond food, but you know, I'll take it, I guess. So yeah, just some more free goodies. Here are the panel missions, by the way, if you want to read them for the part 3. As I said before, Ani medals, Ani cake especially is really, really good. Bond food is something especially for newer players that I gladly take, and even for veterans. The moment we get Affinity 50 or just more collaboration units, it's always nice to have more bond food. And then last but not least, to celebrate the 2nd Ani, last but not least, we also will get some free stuff. That is a 4-star guarantee ticket 2 times, 500 free quartz, assist recruit pulls, cat reliefs, beast stones, and surely. That's pretty cool. Okay, now let's talk about the upcoming units. First up, let's take a quick look at Cecily. Cecily is a water unit. Kinda makes sense, because so far fast units mostly have their elements based on their 1st or 2nd ulti, and since Cecily's 1st ulti is neutral, it can only be kind of water. So yeah, she's a new water fast unit, the 3rd one that we're getting. So yeah, water is getting pretty stacked with fast units, and she's amazing. First up, really good, strong passive trait. 14% water damage bonus is strong, like that's pretty poc, and above 70% HP condition is like one of the easiest you can trigger, because as I said before, her ulti 2 version 2 is amazingly good. You have a 12-second agility buff, you have a self-heal with fixed intervals, so even you take damage after your ulti, if it's before the heal tick, that happens every 5 seconds, so 3 total heal ticks, you just back up and you're safe. So that's pretty cool. And of course, let me click away here. Her kit is amazing as well. First up, basic, water elemental basic, normal multiplier, but it also lowers the enemy's physical and magical attack by tier 1, so you also take less damage if you use a basic. Then she has a CDR skill that gives 6 seconds CDR with an HP condition to deal up to 187% damage, which is nice. It's a good damage number. And then she has an AoE skill that has HP condition for up to 159% damage, and it applies a party tier 1 water damage buff. So we are getting a water buffing unit, and that's also a fast unit. You can see where this is going. Also, just quick information, take a look at her cooldowns, and then think of these cooldowns with 6 seconds removed, aka if you use your CDR skill, because if you didn't know that, by the way, if you use a skill that has CDR on it, the skill itself will also get the CDR applied. So your CDR skill here, for example, is only 13 seconds, and your water buff skill has a duration of 12 seconds and a cooldown of 14 seconds, so a 2-second downtime pretty much, which is good. Like, this is amazingly good. And 6-second CDR is really, really good. Literally, her together with another unit, like for example Fast Arc, which also has CDR, pretty much allows you to spam your skills. And in the future we get auto water units that also have some kind of CDR most of the time in the team, together with Cecily. So yeah, Water Arena will get to the point where it's just skill spam and you probably don't use basic much besides like once or twice each ult rotation, which is so fun to use, not gonna lie, and it's really, really strong. She's, as you can see here, #1 watt unit. I'm not sure if she's still #1 watt unit in JP, but she's up there. She's a really, really strong unit and meta for a long, long time, trust me. So yeah. Then we have, of course, Arue. Here, her ulti 1 is dark, so she's a dark fast unit, which makes sense. And I think it's pretty fitting here. She's also really, really strong, as you can see her #1 dark unit. Again, I'm not sure if it's still true, but she gives us one thing that we waited for a long, long time. If you take a quick look at her skill 1, it's a tier 2 rash shot. But don't get ahead, let's first go for everything. First up, passive trade, kind of like Cecily, but with debuff condition, and that's also Arue's whole theme. Every kind of skill has some debuff condition. So, of course, passive trade gives you 13% if the enemy is a debuff. Your basic deals dark elemental basic that scales up with the debuff. Her skill 1, as I said before, is a tier 2 rash rate single target skill that does more damage with a debuff, and 235% damage is pretty strong, not gonna lie. And you can see it has a downtime of 8 seconds, and the second skill is a tier 2 self dark elemental damage buff. This is kind of a general rule. Most party elemental damage buffers only give a tier 1 buff with a very few expectations. For example, 2.5 Ani Aqua will have a tier 2 party trait elemental damage buff, but with some other stuff going on there. So normally if it's self, it's mostly tier 2. If it's for the team, it's mostly a tier 1. Besides, as I said, expectations. Also, 12-second duration on the dark elemental damage buff with 18 seconds cooldown. And if we just take a quick thinking about what other dark units we have, so for example a Union with CDR skill, so extract the 4 seconds of each skill there, and you see you only have a 2-second downtime on your dark buff, and you have pretty much a 4-second downtime on your rush red. But if we have a team with fast Arue and fast and Yukata Union, we have a buffer, we have defense down, we have rush red, we have CDR. What are we missing there? Ah, yeah, we're missing speed. And I wonder what other unit out there that got praised a lot for a long, long time might finally have a chance to come in and apply some speed boost and also buff your units, for example, and stuff like that. Who could that be, guys? So yeah, if you have pretty much 2 CDR units, you can have the buffs all the time up. Well, rush rate exactly times on when the skill gets ready, but that's still pretty much 100% uptime, and her damage is nuts. She's doing a lot of damage. She's really, really strong. So I kind of recommend highly to pull on this banner. But here comes the tricky part. If we take a quick look at the timeline, by the way, again, this is all part of my document that's currently updating. It should drop again this Friday or Saturday, so keep an eye out for that. And I also will have links to the other part, for example, like the banner timeline and other stuff. So yeah. Speaking of the banner timeline, as I said before, some people might be confused, like, why are we getting another Ani banner that soon? And the thing is, it's because Ani itself got moved, so the second Ani got moved. If we take a look at the JP timeline, second Ani happened right after Casino and before Lolisa. This is again the reason why we don't have the free Lolisa pull for this Ani, because in theory she came after this Ani. So by the fact that they actually put 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, three banners before we actually get Ani, this means of course the time till the next Ani is shortened. And if we scroll a little bit down, we can see that after Battler, in theory, collaboration would normally happen, and right after that we would have the 2.25 Ani Battler. I'm not sure which is better, first collaboration and then Ani. Probably collab first, because collab are limited units, and once they're gone, they're gone. And meanwhile, fast banners come back pretty often, as you can see. So yeah, it's not the same case that we had to worry back then with Fast Chris, with like Fast Chris will destroy the meta, she drops early. because this banner isn't, it's not early, it's just that the second Ani banner was late, so the timeline is still kind of intact. It's just, well, one banner early because collaboration banner gets delayed. By the way, the moment I have any information when collaboration is going to happen, I will of course make a news post. Well, not make a news post, but I will talk about it on stream because I don't want to make YouTube videos with leaked stuff most of the time. So maybe channel live streams to see the stuff there. Maybe I actually make a post for members on YouTube. So become a member if you want to see the stuff there. And of course, also always like, subscribe for konofan content. But this actually has one good thing, at least for people who want to have meta units. For collectors, it pretty much doesn't matter anyway. You skip for a collaboration. That's pretty much all you can do at the moment in konosuba. Save your quartz for collaborations, because all collabs from now on will have 2 banners, and getting 150 quartz between each collab will already be hard enough, so you can in theory not summon on any other banner. But for meta unit people, this is kind of interesting, because if we take a look at the first unit in there in the timeline, we have a water unit, Kuroko. And she was back then really good because her ulti 2 is a neutral damage ulti that gives you a 2/2 speed boost. And with that, she kind of replaced Erika. But now we have Cecily, who can be speed boost provider. So the value of Kuroko kind of fell off. She's still usable until I think 2.5 Ani, where she's completely gone, of course. But until then, she can be used and will maybe have 1 or 2 arena niche cases where you can use her to great success. But I personally think her value dropped a lot with that. So if we take a honest look at there, part 1 has Misaka, which is the one you wanna get, and then you have part 2, which has Union and Accelerator. Both of them are good enough to be the carry or part of your team structure. So the moment you have one of them, you can be done. Still think Accelerator is stronger than Union, but even with Union, you can get top 100 or guaranteed top 1000. So you don't need Accelerator to 100%. So there are literally only like 2 units you need to pull, and if you get lucky, you can actually finish this banner off really, really fast. But yeah, I think this should be everything I wanted to talk about here. TLDR here at the end, arena milestones with some good rewards that will be hard at the beginning, but will get easier to achieve the later we go into game. We get the Vanir quest, which gives some free stuff, but pretty rarely gives good stuff. I will make a new image when I have all the information there. By the way, if you get any text and the rewards, maybe also send me a DM in Discord so I have an easy time getting the text together and build the image. I would appreciate that. And then banners, just the 2 that we know, with some auto free quads for second Ani, and we're getting Fes 2.25 before we're getting collaboration. I will make a new guide right before this banner, of course, talking about if you should pull or not. I will, of course, make banner guides for every banner that's coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Save your quartz. Stay positive. Have a nice day. See you all on the next one. Bye-bye.